Hello, this game is called Modern Medicine. Let's go through the rules of the game. Well, there are 149 hospital cards in the game, and those are the driving forces of the game. There are 4 different types of hospital cards. There are technology cards, there are staff cards, there are equipment cards, and there are what are called the miscellaneous cards, give you bonuses. On a turn, each player will draw 4 cards. There is a draft of the cards, either left or right. Once the draft is completed, the first player will begin the actions. There are 4 actions available each round. There are 8 rounds in the game, and let's go over each action. First action is play a card. When you play a card, you keep the card and you pay the cost. As you can see, there's a cost and there's a production. Costs aren't always in money. Costs can be in supplies. You might need technology. You might need staff members to get the production. But you do collect the production immediately after paying the cost for a card. Second action you can do is discard a card and buy a department. These are departments. Departments cost in money, they cost staff, and they cost equipment. When you buy a department, you place it on the hospital board in the row of the color that your player color. That's the second action you can do. The third action you can do is place a doctor on a card by discarding a card again. When you place a doctor on a department, the department must be activated. Beginning of each round, there's 3 dice rolled, and there's 5 spaces, and whatever number is rolled is the row or the column that can be activated that round. So as you can see, the 1 column and the 3 and 4 are activated. The 2 column where anesthesia is cannot be activated this round. So when a person discards a card, he can place one of his doctors on his department, and he will collect the income, patients, and sometimes you will get a mortality deficit, and we'll go over that in a minute. So that's the third action. The fourth action you can do discard a card, and you can move up on the doctor track. As you move up the doctor track, you start with interns, and as you move up, you substitute the interns for residents, and then attending, and then department heads. And each time you move up and substitute those doctors, they give you added bonuses in monetary money and also in patients. So you can do that. You can go up the track there. And another action, you can discard a card for $2 if worse comes to worse. So let's look at the player board. The player board keeps track of your income, equipment, supplies, staff, and tech. It also keeps track of your patients, and you can buy another intern. The most doctors you may have in play at any one time is 3, though. At the beginning of the game, you do get a corporation. The corporation will give you added income, added money, sometimes supplies. As you can see here, you get tech and maybe a piece of equipment. So each player starts with a different set of resources before the game starts. All right, so at the end of the game, after 8 rounds, that's basically 32 turns. You go to scoring, and scoring is here. Supplies for VPs, you get 3 VPs per department. There's basically, you can put as maximum as 5. You get victory points for hiring the interns and residents. Also on the mortality track, I don't know if I showed you, but I'll show you now. As you go up and down the mortality track, as you can go down in mortality by certain cards. If you make a certain level, you'll get bonus to patients. If you go up, if you go too high up, you can't even go to the department to play, because you can't go any higher than what the max is allowed. So anyway, back to the final scoring. The final scoring, you get 1 VP for patients if patients are critical. You get VPs for set collection, and this is an example of 3 set collections. It's going to be a staff member with either a tech or a piece of equipment, ultrasound with lab techs, something like that. And numbers are written on there to show you what's your combos. And finally, for bonus cards too, you get VPs for bonus cards. Each one will have a private bonus card, a hidden one, and there will be 2 bonus cards placed for each of the players to try to attain. So that's pretty much it. It's a 4-action game only. There are 5 actions really, with discarding a card for $2. But you either play a card or discard a card for the action. That's pretty much it. A lot of strategy in the game on what cards to keep, what cards to discard, what cards to pass. So that's pretty much it. Modern medicine.